The Africa Credit Expo is launching at a crucial time as Africa's lending industry expands and financial inclusion gains momentum. CreditRegistry, widely recognized as a pioneer in Nigeria's credit ecosystem, has played a leading role in digitizing credit access, improving lender confidence, and enabling millions of credit decisions. The expo will explore the future of credit in Africa, where data-driven lending, consumer education, and cross-border credit infrastructure are set to redefine access to finance. A key challenge remains the public fear and misunderstanding of credit, which CreditRegistry aims to address through awareness, innovation, and collaboration. The company plans to scale solutions across Africa, strengthening trust, transparency, and credit participation. We have joining us now the MD CEO of CreditRegistry, Dr. Jameelah Sharrieff-Ayedun. Great to have you join us in the studio.
Thank you so very much.
Yes. So your organization has been described as a pioneer in Nigeria's credit ecosystem. That's CreditRegistry. What would you say stands the organization out?
Thank you so much for having me today. I really appreciate it. And I mean, when you think about CreditRegistry, we've been around now for over 20-something years. We established in 2003, and this was even before the CBN's regulatory framework, which was established in 2008. And, you know, our goal is actually quite simple. We wanted to change the credit landscape in Nigeria by simply connecting consumers to lenders and to businesses so that they can have mutually advantageous business. And, you know, this has been really the fire behind what we do, the passion behind what we do, is how we connect those three entities, being able to essentially allow them to trust each other through data, and then empower them to do business. So that's our brand promise: connect, trust, empower.
Trust, empower, and through data. I think data is a key thing there.
Absolutely.
So the Africa Credit Expo, why now? What the context? How does that tie into it?
Yes, and so you nailed it. That is through data. What we have certainly realized in the market is that our business has now transcended beyond just data. Yes, we know that loans are important, data is important, but it's really transforming lives is what we're trying to accomplish here. And so the Africa Credit Expo gave us the platform to be able to do that. So connect, trust, empower, but it's going to require us educating the market and making sure that the products are inclusive for more Nigerians. So yeah.
So where do you see the future of credit? We know that, especially in Africa and in a place like Nigeria, given the data you have at hand, where do you see the future of credit going, and how does your organization tie into that future? What role are you playing?
Right. You know, it's going to take the entire ecosystem to honestly create the future that I would want to see for Nigeria and actually
and what
for
does that
Africa.
future look like?
That future looks like having credit as really a multiplier for people's lives. It's not an emergency plan. It is not something that you take on that will become a burden. It is not something that you take on that is just for short-term relief for you to do something. It's a long-term vehicle that allows for you to have capital you need, deliver opportunities that are available for you, and giving you the options to choose amongst those opportunities so you can leverage that credit to do the things you need to do to make more money. And that's going to come by way of a few things. We have to have affordable access to credit. We have to have long-term access, long-term credit, which allows for people to now have that excess capital to do things such as starting their businesses, driving their businesses, getting homes for their family and children while they're young to raise them up in that, and building equity that allows for them to be able to use those assets for other things that they need money for. And so the future of Africa when it comes to access to credit is so pivotal because there's so many entrepreneurs. And when we look at Africa, it is one of the best continents that's available because the youth that it has. They say 60% of the people are under the age of 25. I don't know if you remember when you were 25 or younger, but I certainly do. I mean,
I still am.
Yeah, there you go. I would love to say that, but I feel that way sometimes. But I remember that time so vividly, and that honestly, I felt that there was nothing that I couldn't do, you know, and I believe that that's the kind of energy that we have in the youth. And that mentality needs to have the ability to be educated well in order for them to be able to really realize those dreams, and then also be given the opportunity for capital so they can invest in those dreams and make those dreams be able to really grow the economy that we live in.
Yeah.
And so the future of Africa is going to depend upon that ecosystem providing the access, the inclusiveness, but the affordable credit and the long-term credit.
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful picture you've painted of what the future should look like, and that those are the ideals. But right now, what is Credit Registry doing to shape that future?
Yeah, the platform that we've created, I mean, we are, I'm going to say, fundamentally involved in making sure that the ecosystem that uses our services, and we have thousands that are using our services, that foundation is solid. That means that the identification of the people that they want, that the lenders want to get information about, that's there. The ability to provide that information real time, that's there. The ability to make sure that information is able to be updated, you know, and the correct information is there. And if there is incorrect information, that there's a dispute process to get that corrected as quickly as possible. So the basics, the fundamentals are there. The next thing that we're so excited about is this Africa Credit Expo, because it provides a platform for education. And that education is really across all three of those entities. The consumers have to be educated, that there's an accountability expectation from you. So if you get access to capital, there's an expectation that that is returned with interest, right? But there's also training and education available for lenders. So what does it take to create the best products that is going to be inclusive and affordable, that's also going to be able to scale so more people can get access to it? That way your profitability is that much better, right? So the lenders, there's a platform for them. And then I'm going to say equally important, if not more important, there is understanding and training for the SMEs.
Right.
That is really going to be the engine that keeps all of this going. If we can empower our SMEs with the right kind of information and tools that they can structure and manage and grow their businesses, they're going to hire more people. When they hire more people, that's employment. That employment generates income for those individuals. Those are the kind of customers that lenders love. And so now all entities are able to benefit and grow, and we can grow the economy we want. So, so that's what the platform allows, that education. And we are throwing one thing in this year that I believe is going to become a staple for us. It's called Black Friday on Credit.
Okay.
So we always have Black Friday every year. Everybody's always eager about that. But we're doing the first ever in the world Black Friday on credit. So we're going to have retail, you know, stores, products, and services available on the floor of ACE that are going to be slashed in price. So the consumers that are coming will get access to the best products at the best price. But the consumers also have to be the best people. And what I mean by that is that they have to be accountable. So if they've had access to credit, they have to show that they were performing well with it, that they were paying back as when due. And when they're doing that, we deliver, Credit Registry delivers what we call a SMART score. It is just an indicator of how good you are and how well you are with credit and with money. You have a good SMART score, the lenders love you. And so you can get the products and services the products you want at the best price, at the reduced price, and you can get credit to help you to be able to get it. So, so
that's
best
a
products.
approach to the situation. And we know here, unlike in other climes, there's a lot of misunderstanding and fear around credit that, you know, hope they're not going to post my picture online, heavy interest rates and all those, you know, kind of stories that we hear. How can we ensure that there's that mindset shift when it comes to, you know, the perception of credit?
Yes, we all have a responsibility when it comes to this, you know, credit landscape, right? As a consumer, we have a responsibility. We should know the information about us that's being reported about us, right? So we are responsible for checking that information, making sure that it's absolutely correct. If we're getting credit, we should know, when it's due, make sure we pay it on time. So that is a responsibility as a consumer, and I'm a consumer first. So I say for every consumer like me, go online, go to creditregistry.ng and check what lenders are reporting about you. Right. So that's one responsibility. Lenders also have a responsibility, right? They're providing the data, they're giving the loans, but they're providing the data. So that data needs to be updated routinely, if not instantly when a customer pays, right? The platform is there, our services can allow for that, but at least updated at least once every 30 days. So when someone pays, report that, so that way their credit history is performing the way it should show. And but also I'm gonna say lenders have a responsibility as well when it comes to giving the right products, tailored products to people that's actually going to empower their lives, right? So it shouldn't be predatory pricing. It should be pricing that helps someone be able to grow, whether it's their business or their lifestyle. And then as a bureau, as Credit Registry, we also have a responsibility, and we take our responsibility very seriously, right? The data we have, it should be protected, that it should only be accessible as when needed, and when given consent from the customer for someone to see it. And so our mechanism and our system is designed to actually do that. And so when you go and you apply for a loan, there is fine print there that says that you are giving that lender permission to come to Credit Registry to see your history, to see your SMART score. Once you sign that and you say, I want this loan, you are now giving them the permission to see that. And so we honor that, and we're regulated. The central bank regulates us, and we're very, very fortunate to have a regulator that believes in the system and wants to see us to actually scale it for more Nigerians to get access to credit. So
Indeed. And of course, all this education will be made available at the Africa Credit Expo next week. We're going to
yes, ma'am. It is.
Yeah, we're going to get more into the details of the event next week in just a moment after this break. Stay tuned. The Africa Credit Expo is launching at a crucial time in Africa's lending history. And to tell us more about the event next week, we have the CEO and MD herself, Dr. Jameelah Sharrieff-Ayedun. You have hinted a bit about what we can expect with the Black Friday on credit.
Yes, that's right.
What else can we expect with the event next week?
Yeah, so we're rolling out the red carpet for everybody. So literally, it is a welcome event. I'm going to say one of the only events that brings together the regulators, the policymakers, the lending institutions, and the consumers to all talk to each other to build the credit culture that we really want, right? So with that, we're going to have an opening ceremony that is going to be really put on fire by one of our founding sponsors. We're so excited that Africa Bank is coming this year because they have a message specifically tailored for the SMEs. And they have delivered tools, they have trainings that is going to drive those SMEs to the next frontier, which is trade. So if you can do well, and now you're getting access to credit, you can scale, and you can scale outside of just your normal community to now literally across Africa and the world. And so they're going to be there to help us with that. So that's going to be really exciting. We do have a number of goodwill messages because I think that it's important for the audience that is a mixed audience to see that regulatory bodies are behind helping to make this environment the way we need it, this economic environment the way we need it. And then we're going to have some incredible panel sessions. I'm so excited you're on one of them, by the way. But we're going to have Smart Score, Smart Life. And that's going to be an incredible one because it's going to bring the consumer to the stage. But we also have some of the lenders. So you're going to see that conversation unfold. What does having a smart score do for you to have a smart life, a better life? So that's going to be one. And then, Madam, you are going to be helping us to really bring to life, unlocking credit for SMEs and side hustlers. We're going to talk to some industry experts in that space to really understand, what are they looking for us as business owners and business, people for us to really be able to get access to that funding. So I want you just to make it your own. It's gonna be really exciting.
And I appreciate the focus on SMEs, considering their contribution to our GDP. So next week, Friday, on the 14th of November, we can look forward to that. And obviously, after that major event, what next for Credit Registry?
Oh, thank you so much for that question, because it doesn't stop there, right? Again, I said it's not just about loans, it's not just about data, it's about transforming lives. And what has been born from the Africa Credit Expo is our academy. So we have the Africa Consumer Credit Academy. That academy allows for us to take ACE outside of the event itself to now go and deliver curriculum to various entities. So we start with the young. It's called our Project Launchpad. I have an incredible team that has taken that by storm, and we're going to different local governments, teaching the youth from early on the mindset of money, how money works. And then we also have the university now. We're so excited to have a partnership now with the University of Lagos. The Vice Chancellor there, Mrs. Folashade, she is incredible, Professor Folashade. So we're really excited to now take it into the institutions of our universities when it comes to how money works and how they can prepare themselves for being great entrepreneurs and business owners, and then also preparing themselves for trade. So we're starting at that level, and then we're going to continue to work with our various institutions, which are, the lenders and things like that. That's always been our forte, is working with them. But now we're going to continue that and expand it into other areas.
Wonderful.
So,
And our viewers, of course, love the sound of growth. So how can they be a part of this?
So our aim is to really educate 3 million families by 2030, getting them access to this information and bringing them into access to credit, as well as helping them to build generational wealth. And we define it very simply, or I define it very simply. There's a African, I'm not even sure if it's African, but there's a proverb that everyone knows. You give someone a fish, they eat for a day. You teach them to fish, they eat for a lifetime. Right. We want to empower people to own the pond so they can feed their generations. And so that is what we're doing. So we're inviting individuals, consumers. You're welcome to come to ACE. There's so much available for you there. Special classes designated for the consumer. One of my professors is actually leading one of them. He was my facilitator at Stanford. That's Mr. Ogbo. He is phenomenal. You got to come and see him. We're also going to have various workshops as well for the consumers. And we want everyone, if you're listening to the sound of my voice today, is going to be on Friday, Black Friday on credit. So Friday, November the 14th at the Landmark at 8 a.m. is when our doors open. So we look forward to seeing you too, and thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Finally, I know you have said so much about the roles lenders should play, the roles borrowers should play. What about the role of government, policymakers? How can they play in this credit space?
Yes, they have definitely a responsibility there. I love some of the initiatives that are coming out in order to give more inclusive access to capital. So you have the likes of Credit Corp that's doing some things that is really, really powerful when it comes to guarantees and things like that, and helping people get access for lenders to unleash more capital, which I think is really important. But also the policies around, when it comes to starting a business and how easy, making that so easy. When it comes to paying taxes and making that very easy and transparent for how that is being calculated. All those different areas are incredibly important as we're growing this market. And I see the initiatives that are happening in the government to make that happen.
All right.
So, yeah.
Thank you very much for your time. And we'll be seeing you next week, Friday, November 14th, Landmark Event Center. It's been a pleasure having you.
Thank you, Joanna.
Yes, the MD CEO of Credit Registry, Dr. Jameelah Sharrieff-Ayedun.